Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. I'm Chris McGee alongside Robert Ory, Big Game James Worthy, and we have Mike Trudell in Houston. The Lakers have now won 7 straight games, 10 of 11. They sweep the mini-series against the Houston Rockets. They are in 3rd place in the Western Conference, 19 games over 500. They own the tiebreaker now for the season over Denver, Minnesota, and Houston, which is huge. Listen, we're going to talk Luka Magic and the way he closed that game. We're going to talk about, I don't know, the greatest game ever played by a 41-year-old, LeBron James, who went for 30 on 13 of 14. But first, James and Rob, I want to start with the 7-game win streak, and this one specifically. Game 2 in Houston, just an incredible gut check moment there going into the 4th, James, after they were outscored 37-22 in the 3rd and dominated in the first half. The Lakers dominated. But in that 3rd, Houston threw that big heavyweight punch. But the Lakers responded. They did it with defense, clutch shooting, and the big 3 going off.
Yeah, there used to be a time in this studio where I might say, okay, they won the first game against Houston, back-to-back game. That might be one that we might give up. But I don't know if we've seen this team play the way they've been playing. They're playing championship caliber basketball right now. And I don't think we've seen that in quite some years. You know, it's been a long time since we've seen this type of basketball with the defense, you know, emphasis on that part of the game. And these guys are willing to play for one another. The chemistry's really good. They're moving up in the standings. I don't think I've seen this in quite some time. So to have this type of impact in the standings and have a collective effort led by today. I mean, Luka did his thing, but LeBron, man, it was amazing what he was able to do today to lead this team. So they're playing really good basketball right now. It's contagious. You see it from Marcus Smart sometimes. You see it from Luka sometimes. You see it from Ayton sometimes. You see it from Rui, Austin. So when you start to get that kind of gel, that kind of blend on both ends of the court, that's a good thing.
Rob, what kind of stands out? I mean, you shoot 60%. You shoot 47% from 3. You have 30 assists. You kind of battle in that rebounding edge. You're only down by 4. Usually Houston wins that. They're the top rebounding team in the league. The defense in the 4th, like, what kind of sticks out for you when you're watching that game?
You know, I think it has to go to the first half. Because I think they mark in the first half the way they guarded KD, even though KD got hot in the second half. But I think when you start a game out, you start out with the energy and the effort, and it can carry over into the second half. And I think that carry over to not so great in the 3rd quarter, but it's how you finish. It went over into the 4th quarter, how they was playing great defense, rebounding, and paying attention to details. That's something the Lakers sometimes have issues with, that they don't know how to close games out back in the past because they want to do the little things. But you think about all the steals they got, all the rebounds they had to fight for. So I think the attention to details and the way they started the game out was a carryover to the second half.
Rob, I think that's such a great answer. I wrote this down. KD, in 4 straight quarters, second half of game 1, first half of game 2, 4 points. That's a damn good job defensively. You're talking one of the great scorers of all time.
You think about Durantula. You think about all the things he can do offensively, what he can do. He claims he's not 7 feet tall, but he is.
He is.
He can handle the ball like a point guard, and it's hard to block a shot. I don't think I've ever seen someone go straight up with him and block a shot. You've seen people get it from the blind side, but he's such a great scorer. We always talk about DeMar DeRozan, you know, and how great he is at mid-range. KD is probably just as good as him or better. And I think he can do that because he can jump over the top of you. You see him in his warm-ups, how he prepares for the game. They're all mid-range. You hardly ever see him shoot a lot of outside shots, but he's so good. He's one of those prolific scorers that we talk about. We had to graph it up there.
Yeah.
He's about to pass MJ. And so he's just an amazing scorer. But when they play team defense on him, how they blitz him, I think they call it fire. When they fire and get it out of his hand, smart coaching.
Yeah, great coaching as well, especially during this streak. We've seen all the adjustments. James, let's talk Luka and the way he closed that game. I got 4 plays in a row for you. He had the dagger. He had the big 3, and then back-to-back split the defense around the back, lobs no look, and then the dagger 3. There's the first one.
Yeah, I mean,
The spinning 3 is what I should have said.
Yes. Like a spinning top, man. He spun the defense around, and he ended up wide open. That one was risky.
That's
I don't know if I would attempt that. I don't know too many people that would attempt a behind the back split the defense.
No look.
And then throw a no look lob over to Rui. And then gets it to Ayton and gets it back. You know what's coming. Spinning, throwing a lob up to LeBron this time. Has eyes in the side of his head, no look pass. He saw LeBron coming baseline. Great play. Rob, you take this one.
Yeah, no, right here, everybody's like, relax, and you know what? I'm gonna get the rock and dance, dribble. Jabari, you ain't even been in the league long enough to stop me, man. You still young. You know, anytime you can shoot a ball of a guy who went to Auburn, I love it.
At the first quarter, having 18 at half and ending up with 30 on 13 of 14 from the field. He also, at one point, James, had a crazy block underneath the basket where he had to do it with his left hand. He did not foul. That was a part of the big rally of the Lakers. He just was magnificent tonight.
It's a new LeBron. You know, he's had this career. He's already run 4. He's broken the records. Now he's got Luka on his team with a dynamic Austin Reaves. And he's finding a new way to still dominate without having to take all the pressure and all the pounding. And it's just wonderful to see that he's developed this game as, like I said, I'm going to Rob call him a specialist. I like that. And that's what he is. Still doing what LeBron has been doing his whole career, but allowing other stars to flourish and play their game as well. So what he did tonight, Geeta, was just remarkable.
You know, I don't know how many points it was, but y'all remember when Klay Thompson scored I think 50 points on 5 dribbles?
Wasn't it 36 in one quarter off of only a couple dribbles?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like and that's what we saw in LeBron tonight. You think about it. He didn't really put the ball on the floor that many times. I'm not counting like this right here where you try to get to the hole. When he tried to create a shot like a Luka does. Think about it. The alley-oops here, even though...
He had 5 or 6 dunks.
Yeah, 5 or 6 dunks.
2 threes.
And 2 threes. And for me, that's efficient. When you can score without dribbling the basketball to try to create, and for me, that's great for LeBron because, let's be honest, if you dribble a rock, that takes a lot out of you because you got to make this move, you got to pick it up, you got to hesitate, you got to spin. But when LeBron can put 2, 3 dribbles and get to the rack and dunk, or just sit there and pump fake, shoot a 3, or catch and shoot, that's how I want to see LeBron play. Don't get me wrong. There's times where you can do all that and put it on the floor, but I love it when you make the game easy for him. I mean, just get it to him going downhill, dunk. Get it to him in the corner for the jumper because that's prime LeBron because he doesn't have to, extend all that energy. And that's what, think about it. He's 40 years old, playing this game at a high level. You ain't got all that energy, Geeta. Sometimes the tank going to be empty.
It's just absolutely incredible. And just over the last 11 days, listen, this team has won 7 in a row. They've won 10 out of 11, but they've changed narratives for the people that are kind of finally catching on and really starting to watch this team. In the last 11 days, they've beaten the Knicks, they've beaten the Nuggets, they've beaten the T-Wolves, and they've beaten the Rockets twice. That's 5 wins over
playoff teams.
Not just playoff teams, but 4 top 10 teams in the league.
Yeah.
That's something.
That's a mindset.
That's something.
That's a mindset.
That's real.
That's in your team meetings after looking at some video and having the conversations that you decide that we're better than what we're seeing on this on this critique film. We're better than this. Our effort's better. Our concentration and execution is better. And they made a decision when they got everybody back. Ayton decided that he's going to step up. But I'm going to say this. I know Luka, LeBron, and Austin doing their thing, but I still think the key ingredient is Marcus Smart.
I was just going to say,
and
Marcus
I'm not in the locker room every day, but I can sense.
Yeah.
That he's put his feel on this team defensively, and they have connected in that area. I give him a lot of credit for that.
He has been absolutely incredible what he has done for this team, igniting them on the defensive end, hitting clutch shots. DeAndre Ayton, another big game as well. And guys, you know what the key to this whole thing is? Availability. Yeah. The team's been healthy. Yeah. So they're playing together, and JJ's been able to find his rotations and play with that. And believe me, they had what, 49 games this year where one of those guys wasn't playing. All right, time to hear from Coach JJ Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
JJ you
said, James.
Say what he said.
What did he say, Rob? Tell us what he said.
I don't remember.
He said,
Dawn and the King.
That's what the fish I do.
LeBron and Luka combined for 70. Luka Doncic, please move him up in the MVP conversation. He was 1 rebound shy of another 40-point triple-double. LeBron, one of the great games. 13 of 14, 2 for 2 from 3, the 5 rebounds for 30. Here he is with Mike Trudell in the media.
All right, LeBron, the last time you went 13 for 14 from the field was in 2013, a game against Charlotte. I don't know if you remember the specific game, but to do it in the way that you did it tonight, a lot of it in the paint, a lot of it on drives, a lot of dunks. Like, what does that kind of say about where you've been able to sustain this level?
Yeah, we felt like we was on the road. I mean, obviously we made some big plays, and we had some fans in the stands, and we always love when Laker faithful, travel with us, or or in the same city. But it felt like a road game, and we had our road mentality tonight.
Playoff vibes tonight?
Yeah, it felt like that.
LeBron, JJ Redick said that seeing you do what you're doing at your age, when y'all are the same age, makes him feel like a loser. What do you think about him saying that?
Nah, he's shit. If he's a loser, we're all in deep shit. But it's great to be able, like I said, to go out there and the coaching staff gave us a great game plan. And then it's up to us to go out and try to execute it. And it starts with AR, it starts with Luka. And we all just try to filter, do what we need to do to try to help all that, come into fruition and into a win. So we've been playing some good ball of late, and we got to continue that.
LeBron James. You gonna do a little Access 360, Rob?
Of course, we're gonna
Going
do
to the wall for this.
Yes,
Gonna do that. You know what?
But you know what's funny?
I'm not gonna say it.
This is one of those ones you probably want to do some flames for him, but nah, them flames are for James, not for LeBron James. And so in this one, you're going to see how LeBron is able to play defense. Right here is the back. He always talks about pick six. This is kind of a pick six for him. He's kind of hiding behind Sengun because you got great pressure on the basketball. Oops, I'm going to pick this off. And right here, AR learned from last time, but not punching the ball. He pokes it this time off to the races. First dunk by LeBron James. LeBron James. Now AR is trying to set this up. This is a pretty play because why is Sengun that high on Jackson Hayes? I don't know, hands on my knees, but then LeBron goes backdoor. I thought that pass was going out of bounds, but he used the escalator to go all the way to the top and get that. Now, LeBron says, I'm going to give it to you in the post. KD, what are you doing? You're not even paying attention to the most dangerous man on the planet. Now, he misses this, which he normally does, but who cleans it up? That man again, LBJ for the dunk. Now, you're going to play a little defense right here. We're going to show you. I'm back here playing that linebacker or DB, whatever you want to call him. LeBron James, a bad man on the backside of this defense. Oh, you think you're going to get this slip because KD got it early, and I learned from that mistake. I didn't get over it in time enough, and that's what you do. You make adjustments in game. Do y'all remember the one when KD went down there and got a dunk? But this time LeBron was over there in time to say, you know what, Jabari? That's what we do to Auburn guys. We beat that crap up. Get that up out of here.
Yes.
See, if he went to Alabama, he'd probably stuck it on him, but he went to Auburn.
Auburn. Roll Tide. Big game clout.
That was a good 360, man. I break it down. Yeah, I mean, defense, I heard it in the 80s. Defense and rebounding. And it's true. You can have a hot team, shoot a lot of threes, but you can give up offensive rebounds that'll destroy that. You can turn the ball over that would destroy that. The Lakers you can not play the type of defense you have to play down the stretch. You can destroy your possibilities. Right now, they're doing everything to enhance their possibilities of winning games. Down the stretch, back-to-back games, doesn't matter. It's good to see that they finally have a right. They've been searching for it. And it's been frustrating for them, too, to play a couple good games, know that they got potential, not have it all in the season, and then come back and try to do it again. This year, with a full year of everybody healthy, they're finding some things that are sticking at the right time. I think this is going to stick and stay. I don't think it's going to go away.
In the last 11 days, I've gotten a lot of texts about the Worthy clap, and you just gave it in the B block. That was shocking. Luka Magic, full display.
It's the same team in their gym. Obviously, it's a very difficult thing to do in the NBA. You kind of think of a game one, game two in a playoff series. You took that big punch they said in the third quarter. How did you guys kind of fight back? And we're starting with you and LeBron on the floor. Start the fourth quarter.
I think it's just staying the course, sticking to the game plan, continuing to play hard, and trust what we're doing is going to work. You're going to go through ebbs and flows of the game. You wish it could be perfect, but not any game is going to be perfect, especially against a team that plays that hard, that physical. You just got to keep chipping away, and feel like that's what we did tonight. And then, obviously, Luka came in and put on a clinic.
I have to imagine that as a player, like the moments like the back-to-back dunks and then Luka's step back three, that has to be kind of peak fun, like in another team's jam. Like what are the feelings on the court like that?
Yeah, I mean, I had zero effect on any of those, and they were my 3 favorite plays of the night. Just like I said, he took over the game. That's about all you can say. He dominated the fourth quarter and got us a big win.
JJ said that the team's connectedness is a big part of the 7-game win streak. How fun is it out there when everyone is on the same page like it seems like they are right now?
That's what you want in sports, any sport. No matter what you're playing, if you're all bought into one goal and it's at the end of the game, having more points than the other team, it makes it fun. And you're not going to win every game. You're not going to win every game, but when you're fighting, hard as you possibly can every single game to do that, it makes work fun. I think you can tell from how the reaction of everybody on our team, probably staff as well, when Luka hit that step back 3. There's no selfishness, no nothing like that. It's let's win games.
Luka, there were a couple plays in the fourth quarter where you were supposed to put a double team and you guys got the baseline cutter, which was like, it looked like a Reed-type chemistry play. Are those plays just kind of emblematic of how together this team is right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think so for sure. You saw the low man step up. So the cut was wide open. So we did it twice. It worked twice. So I think it was just nice place.
Doing this 7-game win streak, what have you liked the most about how you guys are playing?
Sorry, who?
Doing the 7-game win streak, what have you liked the most about this time that you guys are playing? What you guys are doing?
I mean, winning games. That's it. When win, everything is easier. Win is fun. So, just the way we play, I think it's a lot of fun, and that's what we always do. You win, we have a good time.
There seemed to be some trash talk with you and the fans on those final few shots. Who was that with, and what were you having to say to them?
I don't know. Some guy was talking crazy, showing me his. Never mind.
When you talk about now, I'm interested. How many languages would you talk?
Off the camera. It was in English. I made sure he understands it.
So what set you off in the fourth quarter? You already had 30 by the time you got to the fourth quarter, but it seemed like you even hit an extra gear in the fourth quarter.
No, it was in the first quarter after I missed like first 4 shots. Then he started talking. I heard him, so I was in the first quarter.
Look, you had a breakaway in the first half and laid it up. LeBron gave you the notice to the bench. What do you think of that?
It's 2 points, man. I was tired. I had like 3 open layups. I didn't dunk it, but 2 points. I don't care.
But the old guy's dunking everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive. It's insane.
Kind of along those lines, he was 8 for 8 in the first half. Tonight, LeBron, he's had one other half in his career. He's had one other half in his career where he's shot 100% and made at least 8, and it was 15 years ago to the date today. Just his sort of longevity. What do you, now seeing it and experiencing it, what do you kind of make of that?
I mean, it's pretty awesome to see him, every day just experience greatness. I said today that he was a player of the game, And I think another moment is when he and AR started the fourth quarter. We were down 3 and we just got like a 9-0 run. They did an amazing job. So that was key to the games, those 2 moments.
A few weeks ago, those big runs that teams would go against you guys seemed to do you guys in a little bit in the second half, like the Phoenix game or the Orlando game. How have you guys been able to switch that so you can bounce back from like a 20-5 third quarter run tonight that the Bruins had?
I mean, yeah, they did it today in the third quarter. We just responded. We say it's time to close the game, and that's what we do.
All right, here's what's ahead on the Laker calendar. Yeah, that game's tomorrow at 5, and it's not in Houston, it's in Miami. So they're going to fly all the way there. Then they play the Magic on Saturday, and then the Pistons on a Monday, and then the Pacers on a Wednesday, and then you're back home to take on the Brooklyn Nets on Friday. James, this is tough NBA. It's a 6-game road trip, Rob, and this is a tough scheduling. You're leaving Houston. You're flying to Miami to play the Heat tomorrow. Interesting scheduling. But they're rolling, so you just got to get in and sleep.
Just got to get some good rest and hope that, that's one of those times as a coach to say, hey, Don't visit with your family. Get in the shower. Get out of here and let's get to the plane quickly, because a lot of times that little extra 30 minutes that you're waiting on players means a lot. You know, especially with how bad the weather is on the East Coast. You want to get that way and get some rest because, you know, even though Miami is depleted right now, you still got to take them serious because they can come up and give you buckets.
Do you expect a couple guys to sit tomorrow, possibly?
You know what? The only person I'm worried about sitting is LeBron, and I don't worry about that because I look at way Rui has been playing. I look at way the guys Les Rage has been playing, so they can step up. So, and plus, you know, you think about it, AR took the night off.
Yeah.
14-8.
Yeah.
Sometimes the defense can allow players not to, you know, perform the way they usually do. Like Austin Reeves only had 12, but the defense was on point. And Robert's right. Sometimes you get out of the arena, get on the plane. That plane rest is important too. To get on the planes, just sit down, then get to the room, and you know you get familiar there and you get some rest. But yeah, I don't know. This might be a good time to sit somebody, but I really don't know. LeBron will be the only one I would think of.
Nowadays they have Norman Tech they can put on the plane.
Yeah.
I wish we had Norman Tech when we'd have been around instead of just ice packs.
I got it at the house. You want to come by, Rob? Still to come on Access, Luka Doncic and LeBron James.
I think the Cougars, they live by the outside shot, and I think this far in the tournament, that outside is a tough team.
Both your teams are in the NCAA tournament. I know you're not like overly excited about a big run, but it's still exciting, right?
Hey, I got 2 words for you: 2 pounds.
That's it. We're not gonna get into that. Let's go to North Carolina. Yeah.
On to James Worthy.
Well, we're missing our star player.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
So we're just hoping for upsets. Otherwise, we'll get some of that first round TV.
We'll watch some games together tomorrow and 2 pounds. For Rob, James, and Mike, I'm Chris McGee. We'll see you tomorrow night.